I'm Corbett Wall with DV Auction, here with your feeder flash for Tuesday, November the 9th, brought to you in part by Ozarks and Heart of America Beefmaster Marketing Group's annual Fall Roundup sale. It's going to be this Saturday, November the 13th at 12 noon at the First Class facility at Springfield Livestock Marketing Center in Springfield, Missouri. They've got 81 lots to sell. They've got pairs. Some of them are going to be 3-in-1s. They've got open heifers. They've got bred cows. They've got bred heifers. They've got bulls. If you guys are interested in some Beefmaster replacement stock, be sure and tune into that sale. It's going to be on DV Auction. If you want some more information, you can go to the website for Ozarks and Heart of America Beefmaster Marketing Group. It's OHOABeefmaster.com. Here's our chance. Okay, we've been talking for a couple of years here. First time I started talking about it was 2 years ago at a U.S. Cattlemen's Association event that was held in Billings, Montana. We were sitting around brainstorming on watching this market get away from us and what we needed to do. There was a lot of state associations and different groups that had policy for a minimum negotiated mandate or a level there, but nobody was doing anything with it. Well, here on the feeder flash, we started talking about it. It's been 2 years ago. You guys are red in the face and numb in the ears from listening to us talk about it. But here we are. We've got it right here. We've got it. And it's a bipartisan bill. It's a compromise between Chuck Grassley's group and Deb Fischer's group. I've been telling you guys that that's what we were going to do. They're going to call it Cattle Price Discovery and Transparency Act. Okay, like I said, it's got a bipartisan. It's the best thing we can get. It's something that we can push through. Now I'm going to get ahead of this before we hear about it here in the next day or two. It's either going to be announced today or sometime this week, middle of the week, but they're going to come out and talk about this, and I want to get ahead of the naysayers, and I can't be any more serious than I am right now. We got one group that's going to come out and say, "Oh, you guys really don't want the government involved in your business." Okay, how many of you cashed a CFAP check? Everybody? Okay, the government's involved in your business. How many of you sell cattle and the government does the meat inspection on them? The government's involved in your business. How about let's have the government offer us a level playing field to do business in? If this started back a long time ago, if the Packers and Stockyards Act rules had been enforced when the fat cattle trade left your terminal stockyards markets and moved out to the country or out to the big commercial feedlots, we wouldn't be in the shape we're in, guys. But here we are. So you got one group that's going to say, "Oh, you don't want the government involved in your business," and most of us being conservative, we say, "You're right," and so we start balking at what all this work that we've gotten done. And then you've got another group over here saying, "Oh, it's not stringent enough, it's not strong enough, we shouldn't back off and lay down for that." This is something we can get, guys. This is something we can get. We've got enough supporters on it now. And you think, well, how are we going to get it pushed through? We're going to attach it to mandatory price reporting's reauthorization here next month. This is something we can get attached to that. That's going to get approved. This bill will get approved. It's a good compromise. It bolsters the best of both bills. And that's something that's very important. You have to compromise or nothing ever gets done. Some people are going to be against it because it's been championed by the U.S. Cattlemen's Association. Well, the U.S. Cattlemen's Association is a smaller group, but they've stayed steadfast and they've pushed it right through. We started this in Jake's Steakhouse in Billings, Montana 2 years ago. It was me and Lee Richmond, Justin Tupper, Jess Peterson, the rest of the group was around there. They offered support. We started talking about this. You know, we've had some rallies on there. We've had Feeder Flash gang rallies talk about it. This is it. This is our chance right here to get this. Now, whenever they start naysaying and sending out saying, you know, this isn't strong enough, or you don't want the government involved, whatever they say, because they feel like they're not going to get the full credit for something getting done, whenever you guys share it on Facebook and say, yeah, you're right, or hell no, we won't go. When you start doing that, that kills it, okay? This is a grassroots thing that started in the feedlots and in the sale barns and in the country, and it's went all the way up to Washington, D.C. We've had 2 major senators have teams work on this for months and months and months. We've got this compromise put together. We've got bipartisan support for it. Now, the only way that it's going to get killed is from the same people, the grassroots people, the feedlots, the sale barns, and guys like that, that get talked in to knocking it down. That's the only way it's going to get killed, because most of your politicians don't know enough about it. They feel like that we've got support for it. You know, they watched Justin Tupper in the Senate Ag Committee hearing. They've been hearing the gripes and complaints and the moans. We've got the White House administration backing it, because they're wanting to blame the inflation that's mostly their fault on the meat, and so they're getting in here. They're going to push it through. Here's our chance to get minimum negotiated cash trade. Okay, did you guys enjoy last week? Kind of fun when the Packers come out and you don't have to take whatever they offer you the first day. You can have a little bit of negotiation. They come back and they give you a call back. They raise their price. We have the price raised through the week, all because of demand. That's all done through negotiation, guys. That's the only way we can get it. Now, is it perfect? No. Is it 50-14? Is it 50% of the cattle in Texas feedlots going to be negotiated upon when we've been sitting at about 6 or 7, and we've been as low as less than 3? Hell no. We can't get that. We just can't do it. You can't go from 0 to 60 like that. We've got to get something done. The level is going to be no less than your average of your last 18 months. And then we're going to try to get 50% more than that. The whole deal is it forces USDA to look at this, and it gives USDA the authority to get robust trade in there. And what it's going to do is it's probably going to hold our northern plains or Midwest places like Iowa and in some cases Nebraska at a minimum, at a floor of 50%, but it's going to bring the southern plains up. And you think, oh, that's not enough. My God, we're not going to get anything done. It's going to be something. It is at least something. I don't give a shit if it's 10%. It's per plant, per major plant. So you guys that don't understand it, we've got major plants in the Texas Panhandle, major plants in the Oklahoma Panhandle, major plants in western Kansas that have not been buying any negotiated cattle. This is going to force them to come up to that minimum level. The biggest problem I've got with it is likely it's going to include negotiated grid cattle. They've been cramming it down our throats, and these packers have been turning in all these negotiated grid cattle. Okay, now, if that's the deal and they're going to let negotiated grid cattle come in, then the onus comes upon those people that are selling negotiated grid. Are you just going to take what they give you, or are you going to ask more and allow for negotiations? We've got to do some of it ourselves, guys. We can't have somebody take care of everything for us. You know, we can't sit around in the corner sucking our thumb and just hoping that we're gonna get higher prices for fat cattle when we have the opportunity. Are the prices always going to be higher? No. Sometimes supply and demand means that you're going to lose a buck or two here and there. But anytime you have negotiation, then you're going to have some price discovery. and I'm excited about it. You know, we're going to get something done. The main thing I wanted to stress to you that this compromise bill, Cattle Price Discovery and Transparency Act, that you're going to start hearing about in the next day or two, it includes the complexity of the Fisher bill, of Deb Fisher's bill, that included the library of the different sweetheart deals, the forcing USDA to report as much information through confidentiality as they can, and to be adjustable. The main thing is it's going to be adjustable. We don't just have to live with what we get here on the get-go. Every time we reauthorize livestock mandatory price reporting, then they're going to have to look at this too. And it's adjustable. That's the main thing. So it includes the complexity of the Deb Fisher bill and the concept of Chuck Grassley's bill. I don't know how we could ask for anything better than that. All I'm asking you guys is to support it and not fall in with the same bitches and moans that always kill things whenever we're trying to get something done. But I'm just trying to get ahead of it, because I'll guarantee you that there's going to be one big major group that's going to say, oh, you guys really don't want the government involved, and you're going to have another group that says it's not near stringent enough. So there's your warning. There's my pulpit there, and I just hope you guys get behind it and support it. Encourage your lawmakers to vote for it, not kick it off the reauthorization of mandatory price reporting. And if as long as that happens, it's going to get done, and we're going to get something. It's what we've been wanting all along, is something. Let's talk about your board. On Monday, to start the week out, December live cattle futures up 30 cents at 132.10. That's healthy. February was unchanged at 137.12. Go on the back months of your live cattle, up 5 to up 40 cents. On feeder cattle, November feeder cattle down 30 cents at 158.57. January was up 70 at 160.30. You go on your back months, and you had one that was down, the farthest out, October 2022, was down 37 to mostly all up, and up as much as 62 cents. Now, here's the results of last week's market that we enjoyed, because it had demand there, it had negotiation in it, it had activity from your packers, it had everything that we could get if we could get this minimum negotiated cash trade. Well, on the weighted average of last week, we had negotiated sales, pure negotiated cash sales of 80,500 in your 5-area feeding region. That compares to 87,200 the previous week. You remember when we sold so many, but still that's nothing compared to the same week a year ago. We had 101,300 head. But live sales of steers and heifers were $2 to $4 higher, from 126 all the way up to 132. A lot of 130. It was mostly 130. Weighted average on live steers was 129.23. That was up almost $3 on your weighted average, up $2.94. Best we've had in 2 to 3 years, guys. Fantastic. Dress sales steers and heifers from $2 to $2.06. And a lot of 202 to 204, but that was $4 to $5 higher, the $2 to 206. Weighted average on dress steers 202.81, up nearly $3, up $2.92 on your weighted average, and that's very significant. Nationwide, we sold 96,900 head, negotiated cash pure, that compares to 103,900 the previous week, 125,000 almost same week a year ago. But of that 97,000 we sold last week, only about 10% for the 15 to 30 day delivery, which that's encouraging, because they haven't been buying many of those 2 to 4 week delivery cattle, which has kept your cattle sellers in the driver's seat. And in fact, that 10%, it's for the 15 to 30 day delivery. They'll probably call for those cattle earlier than that. That's what they've been doing, because they need the cattle. Negotiated grid sales, which I told you that's what the packers are going to use to try to get around this negotiated cash, but we've just got to use that as our benefit whenever it gets here. But 49,100 negotiated grids compared to a year ago when it was only 22,900. You think they cranked that up a little bit because they knew this was coming? Definitely. Formula sales last week, almost 254,000. That's what we're up against, guys. We just got to have more negotiated trade, and we can get it right here. What else is going on? Livestock Risk Services. I've talked about them several times, and they do a good job. They're professionals in helping you get a livestock risk protection on your cattle as far as the market goes. And it's affordable. You can get some supplements from the government to help pay part of those. God knows the row crop farmers get enough of those, but they can help you out with that. Call Livestock Risk Services. Go to their website, livestockriskservices.com. Visit with them. Learn more about it. How about your feeder cattle market? Your real-time index on DV auction late in the day on Monday, sitting at 152.72, down just a nickel from the end of last week. End of last week, you had a lot of those Midwestern Northern Plains premium type sales. Early in the week on Monday, we have a bunch of high volume Southern Plains sales, and that's impressive to be able to hold the market on your based on an 800-pound steer on your index cattle there, that close to steady whenever the runs are big. Beaver County Stockyards here today on Tuesday, they've got a big run. They've got 7 to 8 loads of yearlings in there, and then about 2,500 calves. A lot of nice calves. And Tuffy told me that they've got a lot of those calves that are going to be weaned in good condition there. So, somewhere around 3,500 head of cattle. If you guys are interested, you can view that sale on dvauction.com. If you're interested in bidding, call the office there, give them some information, tell them you want to be approved, and you can be approved to bid there if you can't make it to Beaver, Oklahoma, there on the east side of the no man's land Oklahoma Panhandle. But that's a good place to shop for cattle right there. Let's talk about some of your high volume sales there. To start the week out, Oklahoma National Stockyards in Oklahoma City, 11,200 head, big run. 11,200 head. We've been running kind of lighter than a year ago, but that was as big as a year ago. Same type of a run there. But what's very, very important is how high the trend was in the face of those heavier receipts. Feeder cattle, $5 to $7 higher. That's all as a result from that market that we had on fat cattle last week, that 130 market that the few guys that still sell negotiated cattle made for the whole industry. Thank them. $5 to $7 higher on the feeders. Steer calves $7 to $10 higher. Guys are buying cattle to turn out on wheat. And heifer calves are kind of unevenly steady. It's hard to judge the demand on those heifer calves. But less than half of the cattle weighed over 600 pounds. We're in the calf runs, guys, and our market was that strong in Oklahoma City. That's a strong indicator that this market is healthy. Joplin Regional Stockyards, 7,200 head there, steady to $3 higher. Talk about some sales out in the Northern Plains where they're still running a lot of calves, although we're on the backside of the calf run out there in the Northern Plains and western South Dakota and places. But Faith Livestock Auction, 7,300 head there. You won't find this market information anywhere unless they pay for it, but $3 to $6 higher than last week at Faith, South Dakota. Look at this automated market report, Cattle Market Central through DV Auction there. Your best tested weights are still your 4 and 5 weight calves. 1,448 head of your 4-weight steer calves, average 456 with a weighted average price of $195.39. 2,107 head of your 5-weight steer calves, average 548 at $178.40. 1,412 head of your 4-weight heifers, average 452 with a weighted average price of $165.65, and 980 head of your 5-weight heifer calves, average 534, $158.06 on your weighted average price. I'm going to be heading to Cherokee, Oklahoma here middle of the week. Tuesday we're going to have a get together ahead of that Western Regional Qualifier that they're hosting there at Cherokee Sales Company. livestock marketing associations involved. They're going to be there, and looking forward to going there and seeing a lot of friends. Looking forward to competing in the regional qualifier contest that they're having on Wednesday. That's going to be Wednesday morning. I think the only place you can watch it is on Facebook Live through LMA, but you can watch it there. But I'm excited to go and compete there. I'll be the old tall guy somewhere in the middle if you're looking for me. But pretty excited about doing that, and then got a busy week the rest of the week. But look at some of your individual quotes all around the circuit. How about John Campbell out there in La Junta at Winter Live selling calves? He sent me a message. He said this thing is sharply higher than it's been, and having on their Monday calf specials there. But look at a top quote that I got out of Winter Livestock in La Junta. 98 head, 467 head of steer calves, bring 209, weighing on the heavy side of your fours, guys. That's pretty darn good. How about a big quote on some big heavy steers? Aberdeen Livestock Sales in Aberdeen, South Dakota, 58 head of 1,049 pound steers, bring 158 and a quarter. Are you kidding me? But the best quote that I saw anywhere by far, Joe Nelson gave me a heads up on it in a little video that he sent from the block, but I got confirmation when it come in through Cattle Market Central. But Lanesboro Sales Commission, Lanesboro, Minnesota. You guys know I was there just a few months ago. 60 head, 533 pound steer calves. Your Zach Tran top quote for the day, bring 216.50. That's your feeder flash for Tuesday.